Fellow congregation members of the church, all people do this hip-hop as an evil, rotten, decrepit, nose-down, despicable, foul-mouthed monster. I realize that monsters like this do not have a place in heaven. And I also realize that hell simply will not have them because they don't want a motherfucker like this trying to take over. Pardon the language. They must be sick.
It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield, I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation, and you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. Where is that at, might you ask? Well, let me give you some simple directions. It's just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner and ask my man Joe. He's a man of commerce, and he will hook you up. A few more houses down the street and you'll take a right. And then you'll take the next immediate left. And as you're strolling down the street, you'll pass an alley on your right. As you pass, you'll feel a cold breeze that chills you to your bones. Is it the autumn wind? You're goddamn right. Should you go down that deep dark alley? Of course you should. Because what you will find at the end of that deep, dark alley is a little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction. And as we're still not quite in full season mode here on Raider Reaction, we're going to have a little Raider Nation Invasion Wednesday. So I have a special guest who's going to join me tonight, as we have a lot to talk about in the world of Silver and Black. Let's see. So as we discuss all that is silver and black on a Raider Nation Invasion Wednesday. I have the knowledgeable, capable co-host, Angria Trask, joining me this evening.
Hey guys.
So how are we doing this evening, Angria?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing quite all right. So we have a new Raider amongst
We
us.
do.
As we brought in Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, tried him out, and apparently we have signed him, as reports are. What are your feelings on this?
I'm actually good with it. I've liked him for a while. I think he can have the lockdown potential that Raiders haven't seen in like a decade or so. I don't know. Whenever Nnamdi Asomugha was on. It's been way too long, and John Gruden and Paul Guenther are stacking that secondary. It seems like they just refuse to fail at this point.
Gruden likes veterans. He likes to sprinkle veterans about. He's done it pretty much everywhere else in the defense. Already brought in some veteran corners. This guy seems to. Last season, he didn't do a lot, obviously, last season, but before that, he'd still been productive. In 2016, he had 6 interceptions. He still was a solid producer up until last year. So I think he can add depth. I mean, we still have questions all over the secondary, so I don't think it's a bad move.
I don't think so either. And last year he was injured, and so obviously he didn't play, but 6 games, I think. He still had more passes defense last year than Rashaan Melvin did, our other one. But I think he'll be a good pickup. He has one of the things that's really, really not recognized as highly as it should be is the defense passes. So he had 21 in 2016. That was a lot. And that's really good. It's impressive. He's definitely got lockdown potential. So it's a matter of getting him in, getting him healthy. Tom Shaw and Kelsey Martinez, she's kicking their butts. If you look at all of the teams around the league right now and how many of them already have starters that are going to go down for the beginning of the season, we don't have any of those yet. I mean, the only concerns we've had have been our last year's rookies that have just had lingering injuries, and it looks like Gary Conley's doing okay, knock on wood. Yeah. But right now the strength and conditioning team is looking good. I'm impressed with them, and there's a reason.
Like I said, knock on wood, we have not had any real major injuries. The guys that are beat up, like we got the news about Vanderdost today, which I'm not shocked about, that he's gonna miss at least the first 6 weeks of the season. It didn't look like he was going to be ready anyway. I mean, you hadn't seen anything of him, so to think he was going to be ready for the season was a stretch. So I wasn't shocked by that. But those are the only injuries we have were the guys that were already injured. So
right.
It hasn't.
And that's fine. I didn't expect him to have a big. What's that?
We've been very healthy thus far through preseason.
Yes. And I really don't expect Eddie Vanderdost to have a big impact anyways. Right now, there's too much. This is really something that we don't hear hardly ever on the Raiders, but there's too much competition in the middle of that front 7. So
there is.
That's okay.
They brought in a lot of guys to, and pretty much at every position in defense. They brought in a lot of guys. They're trying them all out. And our depth at defense right now doesn't look bad. I think we're going to surprise some people on the defensive side of the ball this season.
I think it's crazy. It's crazy good. And I'm okay with surprising people. It's better to be underrated and fly down there and shoot up and kill people, I guess. Give me some sort of a fighter plane analogy. I don't know. I'm not good with that stuff, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Now, some other news that popped up today, which I thought was interesting because pretty much all through the offseason we've been talking about the battle at running back and who was going to shake out. And we'd kind of seen out of week 1 that it was looking like they were going to put, like Captain and I have been talking, we'd all been talking, that we thought it was really going to come down to Richard and Washington. as a head-to-head battle in this this offseason, and one of them might have a distinct possibility of not making the team. It looked like
Right.
Chris Warren third was going to be the fourth. Martin looked like he'd claim the second, and New Beast Mode was the first. And it looked like that third running back was probably going to be one of those two. Now, with DeAndre Washington, the news coming out today that minor knee surgery is going to knock him out the rest of preseason, so he's not going to get a chance to come out there and perform. Jalen Richard's going to be the only one to be able to perform. Do you think that sinks Washington for making the team this season?
I think they'll probably keep him on IR for the rest of the season. Sorry.
You think? Think it's that bad? But what if it's
They'll
not that
have-
bad?
Yeah, no, that's a good problem to have. Chris Warren has just impressed the hell out of me and everybody else. And that's in his blood, apparently. So he's done a really good job. And it's what we hoped to see on a Gruden team where he's bringing in so much competition. Everybody's fighting tooth and nail. And I never thought Jalen was in danger, for the record. I always thought that they were going to carry at least four running backs.
At least
And
two. But so you thought it would be Washington that would be the one that was going to be gone?
no, I thought they would carry Lynch, Martin, Washington, Richard, and then take a fifth.
And a fifth. See, now if they do that, if they take five, yes, I could see them keeping both of them. But I honestly
Gruden likes his run game.
I thought they'd carry
Gruden likes
four.
his run game. Yeah.
Yeah, true. But he's taking up extra roster spots with fullbacks that we didn't use before too. So I guess it depends on how he shakes out his roster and what value he finds. Because if they go five, hell, they may keep both of them.
But now, I mean, they don't have to.
True. I wanted to see Washington stick around, but we'll see. We'll see if this injury buries him. I don't know. It's hard to tell this far.
I hope not.
We'll see.
I think he's got skills. That the kid can be a monster on the field, but now he's hurting. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what minor knee surgery is. I didn't know there was such a thing as minor knee surgery, but I'd like to know what that is. It's obviously going to only knock him out. Sounds like a few weeks, so it must not have been anything too evasive. So I don't know what.
Maybe
that
he's
would
getting
be.
a mole removed or something.
Yeah, maybe it's cosmetic.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who
So,
knows?
but the biggest news, obviously, today was the signing of corner Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. Then you heard about Eddie Vanderdoes. He's on the PUP list. DeAndre Washington out the rest of preseason. And then Marshawn Lynch is getting his own bag of Skittles. There's the other big news of the day.
I know. I'm trying to find somebody to pay to go down to the stadium because they're going to give away, I don't know, a couple thousand or something like that at the stadium.
What I would not give, listen, if you want to get, I will give you the greatest Raider reaction to prize pack ever given to anybody ever. If somebody can get me one of those bags for my collection, oh my God, I would love to have one of those.
I'm totally down for trading.
Oh, yeah, I'm all for the part. So if you get one of them bags, you message the Raider reaction page, and we will figure something out. Because I will take that from you. I want one of those bad. I'd love to have one in my case because I'm sure they're not going to make a lot of them. It's probably going to be a limited run of thing, and
they're only giving away 2,500 or 2,400 on the giveaway site, and then they're giving out a certain amount of games. So I want to go to the games.
Yeah, I'm just ready for the damn season to start. I'm just ready for the season to start. That's
I know.
my main. It just doesn't.
I'm actually really impressed with. I'm impressed with the way the preseason has gone so far, though, because preseason everybody thinks it's useless, but for us, a team like us, we have a lot of use for it. We can see all of the depth because that's where we're lacking is all the depth. And right now, people are fighting and they're making an effort to be present and to be their best. Everybody apparently except Martavis Bryant, who's disappointed me. I don't
Yeah,
know about you. But
but yeah, but is he that guy that just turns it on when it's game time? Is
I
he
hope
that guy?
not. I don't think John Gruden's going to give him enough chance to do that.
I I agree. I don't think Gruden will stand for that, but I just wonder if he's that type of guy that, because some guys don't practice well. They just don't, and they get
Right.
up for the games. I wonder if he's that type of guy because, I mean, the fact of the matter is, the guy runs like a freaking deer, and he can jump like one. He's tall, he's fast, and if you throw the ball up, he can catch the sumbitch. So in a game, whether he
Yeah.
technical difficulties.
I see that.
Whoa, what just happened there? Well, that was crazy. All right. Man, there's been
And
the
we're back.
strangest gremlins going on in the studio the last couple of days, I swear to God. Last night, my car alarm goes off with like 15 minutes left in the show, like somebody was robbing me. So I had to take off and run out to this thing. And for some reason, the entire mount just released for no reason. And like, no reason. That was insane.
Gremlins apparently follow me around somehow. They invade my phone and infect everybody else that I'm talking to.
It's Stevel Juice, I'm sure.
I see that.
Uh,
Unfortunately, I can see it.
it's their fault. I blame them. Yeah, that was insane. But see, nobody on YouTube's seen that, so the YouTube's fine. I see. I have to figure out how to get
Okay.
split
As long as they're good there, that's cool.
and, technology, but at least they can hear the audio on the YouTube. Um, but we will upload this video to the YouTube. And while we're speaking of YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you should. Hardcore Challenge Live Studio Webcast on YouTube. Go subscribe to it. All of our webcasts, everybody who has a show on Raider Reaction or does anything on Raider Reaction has their own playlists on there. You can check out all of the archived videos. Check out Angria's podcast, Just Win Ladies.
Just win, ladies.
Check out that,
And don't forget, if you're not listening, seriously, bro.
Yes. One of our official sponsors, Raider Nation Rings and Flags Facebook page. Got a ton of Raider swag over there. They got contests going on all the time. Check them out. And, of course, check out Captain Jack Rackham's page as well. And his
All
Sunday
definitely worth it.
Ask the Captains.
Ask the cat.
We got a lot of stuff coming up here, too. Angry is going to be on the Raiderette show. We're going to be bringing that back soon to the page. And a lot of other things as well. Pre-game show. We got stuff coming up for you for the season to, a little more Raider entertainment to go along with your Raider season.
We'll be busy.
So, yes, we will be busy. Very busy. Halftime shows, post-game shows, pre-game shows, all that good stuff. And, of course, this Friday, we'll have Black Friday live again, the Week 3 preseason game. Now, the rumors are that, at reports, Angria, that the first team is only going to play a little way into the second quarter, and we're not even going to see them for the whole first half of Game 3. Is this some mastermind plan by Gruden? He just doesn't want to show his hand?
Remember, we play the Seahawks this year, so I don't think Gruden used a playbook last week. I think he threw it out the window. He just said, "Here's Todd Downing's playlist. Just use it from last year." That's why Jim Manuel looked like trash. I don't think that's the only reason, but they just looked like they couldn't even hold on to a ball last week, and I wasn't surprised. Nobody started. There were a couple of guys that were on the field for 2 plays or something, and then they were gone. And I don't think we'll see anything different for this week. I think I would be surprised if we see Derek Carr in the second quarter.
I would too. I'd like to see a little more out of him, unless Gruden's just so happy with what he sees already in camp that he's not concerned. He feels like he's season ready already. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I certainly hope that's the case.
Yeah, I think between Gruden and Carr and their love affair that they have going on, It's crazy. I don't think he would do anything to jeopardize the apple of his eye right now. Um, so I wouldn't be surprised not to see him at all. It's not going to shock me.
Yeah. We will see. We will see. It's going to be.
We are not answering any questions.
One of the best things that or one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm hoping we see some more Conley. Hoping he gets a few more reps. He played I think 11 snaps last game, 9 or 11, one of the two. I think it was 11. But just to see him out there, he went on the field healthy. He played. Didn't give up any receptions.
He didn't get carted off.
Healthy. So that was a good showing. Let's see if we can see that in the second go round as well, of him getting some action. I really want to see him in week 1. I want to see him out there, and I want to see him at 100% and see what he can do. But who do you think is the 2 starters coming into week 1? I can't see it as Garyon Conley at this point.
I can. Unless he's screwing up big time in camp. I think he's going to be probably 1, and Rashawn Melvin's going to be 2.
Rashawn Melvin?
Yeah. But I think they're going to do a rotational backfield. It doesn't seem like Paul Gunther's interested in seeing people that are just going to screw up and go in there play after play after, and with no other option. He's got plenty of options. So if he does a rotational backfield, then he's going to be able to see who's going to be able to play where, and if Conley's not the answer at CB1, then somebody else will be. But I think given he doesn't get hurt, Conley's going to be a superstar.
I predicted, and I'm on the record all off season, I think he's going to be our top corner by week 4. He's going to be the clear number 1. That it's going to be, without a doubt, he'll be the number 1.
By week 4, you said?
Brandon, do you honestly think number 1? I don't think that's the case. He come off an injury-ridden year last year, and he's a 32-year-old veteran corner. He's going to work in the mix, but I don't think he's going to walk in off the street and be the starter right out of the gate. Honestly, don't.
He might be a dime. Maybe throw him in on nickel. I don't know. Paul Gunther likes a lot of those.
Oh,
so.
no, he's definitely going to get some action. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think he's going to come in and they brought him in to be the starter like Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, some sort of savior. He's not that.
He's a savior anymore.
He's not some shutdown corner that walked in.
Maybe a couple years ago.
No way. There's way too many cornerbacks on the roster right now. You got Worley, you got the Nelson. No way. Sharice Wright, Rashawn Melvin, and Conley. I mean, they've been grooming Melvin and Conley to be the 1 and 2 for a while now, and Conley seems to be coming back quickly from the injury. It seems like they were being very precautionary, and I think there's a good possibility he's the number 1 coming into week 1. If he comes out this week and plays great, that he could really solidify that.
I agree.
We'll see.
I can see that.
We'll see.
It's going to be a fun thing to watch,
Now,
that's for sure. It's been a long time, like I said, since we had some sort of competitions. So, yay!
I'm excited about the defense this season. I'm excited about the defense this season because there's been big change everywhere. So you don't really know what we're going to have. And there's such big change with who's running the defense too, with a total, new defensive coordinator and defensive coaching staff. So everything is different. So to even say, the Raiders had a terrible defense last year. There's nobody left from that. I mean, other than a handful of players,
right?
that team has been tore down, and the coaching staff has been shipped out of town. So that defense doesn't even exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see what this group can bring.
Yeah, me too.
Very excited.
I had a discussion earlier today, actually, with my son, who's a terribly incredible, smart NFL mind. And he asked, he's like, I don't even know who's the defensive coordinator anymore. And I said, Paul Gunther. And he goes, where? And I said, the Bengals. And he's like, well, name one good Bengals player. Never mind. You have to, come on, dude. There's a bunch of Bengals defensive players that are, I mean, Geno Atkins is probably a Hall of Famer. When was the last time Reggie Nelson led the league in picks under Paul Gunther?
Yeah. I mean, Vontaze Burfict has looked like a star at linebacker in that system, and it's what he has the possibility to do with some of our guys now.
Mm-hmm.
He's taken just good linebackers in his system and made them look great, and he can do the same thing with the guys that we have. That's why you've seen Marco Lee looking, really good already in preseason. And what are the other guys going to look like when we start to get our full starting squad in there? I'm excited about the possibility of having a top-notch defense this year. It's possible.
It has been way too long.
Now, it's been insanely too long. Now, with the positive of Connolly at the number 1, you got to look at the number 2 draft pick from last season, and Obi Melifonwu, and he's starting to hover around. Quite frankly, a guy who I'm starting to look at as being a possible complete bust. He just doesn't seem to be able to stay on the field. I haven't seen what I was hoping to see out of him when you do see him out there. Same thing last season. He just didn't seem. And the fact that he can't stay healthy now, is this a guy that he's not a Gruden guy? So is he even going to get a chance if he can't stay healthy?
And you sound just like John Gruden right now, because Gruden's not shy about saying how disappointed he is in Obi's performance. And even when he was sort of healthy before they announced that he's got injuries on top of injuries, he still wasn't doing very well. Running with second team. He wasn't even taking first team snaps. So I don't think we're going to keep Obi much longer. I don't use the bust word very often. I don't like to use it in the first couple years. I mean, until they get rid of their rookie contract, it's kind of like, okay, you got to give him a time, but he's really not doing well.
He can't get on the field. Your number 1 asset is availability, and he can't get on the field. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate, but he looked like he had the talent. But I never seen like what I seen from Connolly last year, where I saw those few plays when he was out there. That just made you really sit up and take notice. I never saw that from Obi any time I ever saw him on the field. But if he can't stay healthy, we're never really going to.
I don't think they even tried to use him. Right, exactly.
Carl Joseph is an interesting one. Moving from corners, since we're talking safeties with Obi, Carl Joseph looked really good in week 1. Didn't look as good last week when I went back and watched it. He did get burned a few times, and that was against second team guys. He was really one of the only solid starters per se that was out there, and he was letting shit in on second stringers, quite frankly. So I didn't think he looked as good in week 2 as I was hoping he would, but I still have a lot of promise for him this season, and I'm wondering who they're going to pair up. It's sounding like Gilchrist, I guess, at the other safety, but you've heard lots of positive stuff about Harris in camp. So I think it's Gilchrist, though.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Reggie Nelson.
Think? I know Gunther and him have a relationship. He's got a thing for Reggie, but Reggie wasn't good last year. Just wasn't.
Reggie was not good last year, but the
Wasn't good
last time he
last year.
was good, he was with Gunther, and Gunther might know what to get out of him. He might know how to get it out.
Maybe. I like Reggie,
Maybe.
but like I just seen a big fall off from him last season. I seen him getting burnt a lot,
Mhm.
and I don't think you can blame getting burnt on the defensive coordinator a lot. He was straight up getting burnt. So we'll see.
In
Maybe he
wrong place,
brings
wrong time.
maybe having his defensive coordinator back brings that fight back in him. Well, who knows? We'll see. Only time will tell. But like I said, I'm excited about what the possibilities of our defense is this season. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, this is Angria Trask joining me tonight on a little Raider Nation Invasion Wednesday, as we will be kicking off, what is it? Not next week, but the week after, our full regular season schedule, as Prime will be back joining me on Wednesdays for Ghost of the Post League Edition Wednesdays, as Big O will be back on Mondays with me for Ghost of the Post Monday edition, and we'll have the Raider Nation report on Tuesdays. Captain Jack will be with me on Thursdays, and then Black Friday. And then Angria will be on the Raiderette show coming up soon. We got our pregame shows, halftime shows, postgame shows, all kinds of stuff coming once the season gets kicked off. So thank you for joining us. If you're just stopping in, thank you. New and old, our band of pirates, we always appreciate you joining us on Raider Reaction. Let's switch over to the offensive side of the ball, Angria. Neither one of our backup quarterbacks looked for shit in week 2. Neither one.
Neither of them was great, but there was one that looked like markedly worse, and that was EJ Manuel. So I don't know if he was just playing like an idiot or what, but he didn't look as doing it all.
I don't know. Connor
Cook is Connor Cook.
And then looks so bad.
Yeah. But it's Connor Cook. I mean, I can't expect. I was really, and I still am shocked how well he looked in week 1. Week it just was Connor Cook again.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he can work some of that out. I think he's gonna get a good amount of playing time again this week. He's probably going to get more than a quarter's worth of action. So we're going to see. We'll see how he shakes out. I think he's the plan if Carr goes down for any sort of long term, or you need him to start and play a whole game. I think EJ's your relief, the guy you would throw in relief ahead of Connor Cook, because he's just got a little more experience out there and he can make things happen with his legs where Cook can't.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Cook is probably easier to maneuver into a long-term situation. Hopefully, we don't even have to worry about it. But if anybody can mold him into something, it's John Gruden, I think. He does amazing things with quarterbacks. So you never know. He's never had a really young quarterback to mold. So it's kind of exciting to watch him with Derek Carr and then watch him with Connor Cook, who has been just a trash bucket for the last couple years. And I mean, I can't hold that against him too much, but already seeing what Connor Cook did in the first game and watching EJ Manuel in the first game even, it was impressive to me to see what Gruden's already able to do with those two.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of hoping to see, based off how well Connor Cook played in week 1, that he would really step up and hopefully keep the progression going. But he really took a step back for me in week 2. So we'll see what he does this week. Obviously, it's not neither one of them are challenging Derek Carr for the starting position, so it's kind of a moot point as long as Derek stays healthy. We hopefully never have to see either one of these guys under center. Quite frankly, I don't want to have to see either one of them And
I don't either. No,
I
not at
don't
all.
see Connor Cook as our future. He's our
I
backup
don't either.
quarterback, and I think
I'm
that's
still
as far as I see
surprised.
Connor.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that they drafted him, but I'm not in the war room, so Reggie hasn't made the best decisions the entire time he's been there.
No. Now I'm interested to see how once we get into the season, how the complement of Jordy Nelson to Amari Cooper works out. Now, and who's going to be the solid number 3? Is it Martavius Bryant? You've got Switzer battling
I
for
don't
that.
know.
Griff Whalen has actually stepped up, as Lines just mentioned on YouTube. He's actually stepped up and made a
Yep.
push. We are very, very deep right now, roster-wise, at wide receiver. So there's a large group of guys that's going to not make it. So who are you looking at as your strong front runners at wide receiver for this season, beyond Cooper and Nelson, obviously?
I think Whalen stepped up a little too late. I don't know if he'll make it because I think Switzer's come in and really put it down. He's looking like he just wants to fight for that job. He was not treated well in Dallas. They still hate him for some reason. I don't know why. I think he's adorable and he does a really good job, and he's tiny and he kind of, zips in and out and does a good job with the crowd. And I think he would be a really decent option. But if you're looking for a veteran or somebody who's a little bit more established, I don't know. Martavis Bryant really needs to get his crap together, because if he could be the solid number 3 or even step into number 2 somewhere somehow, I would be perfectly fine with that. But
he's off the weed, and if they just, that might be the issue.
You know that. See, the irony. Exactly. I was going to say. The irony of it is that, like, he was down with.
Just doesn't practice well, because there are those guys, and I wonder if Purple Drink.
Oh my God.
Oh God. I know. It's like fucking Steeple Juice wasn't bad enough. I create my own hell.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
It's creating hell for all of us.
That one wasn't even 100% my idea, but it's a great fucking idea.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It makes me laugh, so it was a good one. That's Joalrus Russell, in case you didn't know.
Good Lord. Ugh.
It's you.
Did you see the video or the story about Joalrus? It was actually Jamarcus, but
Walrus. Yes, that his talent was making it rain at the rookie talent show. That's great.
No. It was. I read a little article, a little snippet from Chicago, I guess, that when he was on the Raiders, one of the coaches gave him a DVD to take home. Here's our plays. You need to study these and let me know what you think. Comes back the next day and he's like, I'm totally on board. I get it. Everything looks great. And apparently it was a blank DVD.
Awesome. That does not surprise me.
Just fitting.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, that was pretty much the report, that he put in no freaking work, and he just
right
was. It was a $70 million boat anchor. That's what that guy was. A purple drinking boat anchor. That's Joalrus. Purple drink. That's Joalrus. So.
Not even a good anchor. He's like the one that's got like the rusty chain and you can't even pull it up, and so your boat just kind of floats around everywhere.
And I can't even talk about him. Even spending 5 seconds on him, it was too damn much. That freaking guy. I tell you what. It's painful. Now, the running game, I'm really interested to see how the running game is used with you got Gruden, you got Cable, who's obviously going to switch up, basically how the line was used from last season. You've got the possibility of Penn being at right tackle with Colton Miller starting at left tackle. You got Gruden, he's brought in some big beastie blocking tight ends. He's going to go with the fullback in front of beast mode. It's I'm very interested to see how Gruden utilizes the running game this season, because he likes to run the ball. He's always liked to run the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be great. I think we're going to see all those power packages that we don't get to see often enough, and not enough teams use them. So people utilize their people utilize their tight ends as receivers and not as blockers and not as like a sixth lineman, which is what Lee Smith is built to do, and he does well. We still have a receiving tight end, and that's great. Jared Cook, I think, did a really good job last year considering. And then Keith Smith at Foley has been killing
He did. I look forward to seeing how
in
he's
training
utilized.
camp.
I look forward to see how all these guys are utilized. I mean, Gruden has never really, other than he never had it in Tampa. He never had a dynamic offense. He had a dynamic defense, tried to build a dynamic offense, never could get it done. He had a dynamic offense when he was here the first time, with obviously with Gannon at the helm, an MVP quarterback, two of the greatest of all time at wide receiver, Charlie Garner. He had a prolific offense. This offense has the capabilities to even be more of a prolific offense than that. If you really look at the roster, talent-wise, it could be equivalent, because there's so much youth on this team that team didn't have. So I'm very interested to see how Gruden utilizes this offense like a young offense like he's never really had before.
Yeah. I think that's what is going to make the difference for him. It's a younger offense. At least there's a lot of pieces that are younger. So he's got a quarterback that's in his fifth season now he's been in love with since about each other at night. So I'm not sure how accurate that is, but with the line, they're looking at building something really young, and they've got, Gabe Jackson's only in his fifth now, I guess. Rodney Hudson is a monster, one of the best centers in the league, period. And obviously still has some really good years in him. Donald Penn is the question mark. We'll see how he's doing, but I think he's shown that he's willing to take a step back and use what he has to help the next generation. Some of the weapons are ridiculous, man.
Reports are he's done very well so far. Reports are he's looked good at right tackle, and he's jumped right in. I'm excited. I'm excited and worried at the same time about having a rookie at left tackle. I'm excited and worried. I'm excited
maybe that's some of the shakeup that they need. Yeah. It'll I guess. I think it looks better than it has. If we have Penn at right tackle, he can always swap out. So if he's at right tackle for a game or two and it doesn't work out, if Colton's not doing well, they can always put him at left tackle, barring any health injuries. But I like the fact that they're mixing up enough to be able to see where everybody could fit. And offensive line is a difficult position to evaluate because there are very specific roles and very specific jobs that you have to do. But a lot of them are interchangeable, so they know exactly how they're supposed to play at tackle versus guard. Center is a totally different position than any other position on the line, and that one's solid. But those outside two are just it's going to be a chemistry experiment to see how it works.
So let's jump right to it. We got week 1. It's only 2 weeks out. We're in preseason. It's only 2 weeks away, but Week 1 is what everybody's looking at. You know, last week was very vanilla because we weren't going to show our playbook. Gruden had come out. He said he was pissed off. I thought it's crappy by the NFL schedulers to make you play a team in preseason that you're going to play 2 weeks later in your freaking season opener. So that could possibly played into the somewhat of the reason why we didn't see a lot of the starters and you didn't see a lot last week. But how do you think we fare Monday night, home opener, season opener against the Rams? What's your thoughts?
I think it's going to be a great that mentor has a little step on mentee. What's the word I'm looking for? Padawan. On his protege. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Gruden pull some tricks out.
I wouldn't either. It's Monday night. It's a primetime game. Primetime games seem to have a little more adrenaline about them. And you can see some of those trick plays kind of work sometimes because guys are really, I don't know, something about playing under the lights and, you know, being on a primetime game with everybody watching. It's week 1 to me
is Gruden's
such
first
a trendsetter.
Foray back to Monday Night Football.
Yes, it's so much. He's on Monday night. It's the home opener. They're playing the Rams. It's the season opener, the home opener, Gruden's return, all on Monday night. It's oh my God, we have to win that game because the way the schedule backs up behind it, the next three games. After that, I could see 4-0 if we can take down the Rams.
Yeah, I can see it. He has all the pieces.
We'll see.
And Gruden is not ready to go out and lose his very first game.
No. He doesn't want to have to do that shit all for the whole first week. Everybody.
See, I told ya! Everybody said it!
Yeah, you know he doesn't want to. Yeah, you know he doesn't want to have to answer those questions. You know he doesn't want to answer those questions.
No.
Now, we haven't really touched on it, and I held it to the end of the show on purpose because I've had to talk about it so goddamn much. I'm about sick of it. So let's touch on it because we have to. It is the biggest story out there for the most part, and it's Khalil Mack.
No! It's not a story. This is not a story, people. Every day.
Camp. Unfortunately, I don't think it's a big story either. I still think it's going to work out in the end, but it's every day there's stupid new rumors. Now it's John Gruden's holding it up. Yesterday he was in the Bay Area and they were trading him to the Niners. So
right.
I mean, come on.
Wait, isn't Oakland in the Bay Area? Is it?
Yes. Yes.
Seriously.
No.
He could just be hanging out at home, people. Yeah, just because people call the Raiders.
They don't have money for.
No, they don't.
It's insane. No,
I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to worry about it until he gets finished with his offense, though.
Yeah, I honestly think it's going to work out. I didn't expect to. I thought the best case scenario is we would see him by week 3. Doesn't look like that's going to work out. So then we'll see him probably by first week. That's it.
We'll see. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the sidelines this weekend. Heard some rumors about it, but I don't know how things are going to shake out by the end of the week. So, but just because somebody calls the Raiders about a trade does not mean the Raiders are answering the phone. So stop it. It's enough already. This is like Martavis Bryant being good for nothing. Stop it.
Yeah.
It's enough. He'll be fine. They'll give him money. It's not like he can go anywhere, and they're not stupid enough to trade him. Yeah,
No, these sites need a story every day. So every day they're gonna get up
every
and try to
day.
spin a new angle on the freaking Max story as long as he's holding out. It's day 28 now. Tomorrow on day 29, they're still gonna have to come out with a story because Khalil Mack is still a holdout. And every day it's gonna be some other damn stupid rumor. So just make sure you use a little common sense when you're surfing through all these stories, because a lot of these sites are
And look
just
at keywords.
such garbage. Yes,
Yeah. If you look at
it's
keywords, like I saw one today that said the Jets the Jets made a phone call to the Raiders about trading Khalil Mack. That's not saying that they talked to the Raiders about Khalil Mack. That's saying, let me use some clickbait here. So I'm going to use some words that people are going to click on, and then I'm going to use a whole lot of scenarios to see, oh, this might happen. People like reads. I mean, I'm an author, I'm a writer, but I
yeah,
don't like the clickbait thing. It's bullshit. Knock it off.
it is. It's some of these sites. It's all opinion. There's no fact in it at all. Yeah, it's a bunch of buzzwords that make you click on it, and then you start reading it and you realize, dude, this is just some guy giving me some opinion, and this could have this. There's nothing factual in it at all. So until you hear something
Anything could happen.
one way or another, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I still am 100% positive he's in week one. He's in silver and black. I don't see any way it doesn't work. He's under contract. He's still under contract.
Yeah.
We're talking about a future contract. This contract is still in place. He has to come. He's
Yeah.
not going to take the year off.
He can't.
He's not.
He's got to show up. He's getting fined almost over $750,000 per game right now. I don't think he's going to go that long without, not wanting to spend that money for just sitting there doing nothing. It's shitty, but that's part of your job. I mean, you show up to work and they're going to have money to drop at him, but I just don't think that the guaranteed money is matching the contract money. So, or the bonus money. So it is what it is, but they'll find the money and they're going to pay for him. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Reggie's sticking to his guns of, I won't talk unless you're in camp. And eventually he's going to be like, all right.
Yeah.
Just like Donald Penn, I'm going to come to camp, and then they'll talk. Eventually he's going to be like, all right. At some point, he's still your boss. And at some point, if you want to work for the man, you got to come in, regardless of what the holdout is. And I think that's when I think it'll happen quick once he gets in there.
And the thing is, like, he could still refuse to sign your paycheck. You're not the one holding the cards there. So.
No. I'm telling you, they've got him. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. All right. Well, we are winding down. Angria, kick off. Would you like to go ahead and plug your podcast?
Oh, yep. So check me out. We generally release our podcast on Tuesdays. Had a delay this week because I got home yesterday and my basement was flooded. So that sucked. But generally we release podcast on Tuesdays. I share it up on the Raider Reaction page. We want to make sure that everybody follows both of us because it's awesome. Great connection, different sides of it. And it's just women, just me and my partner Jenny, and we ladies in football. We talk about football and interview some guys that are in football, and it's all football. Girls in football, how can you go wrong?
So make sure you check out Angria. Make sure you check out our other sponsor, Raider Nation Rings and Flags Facebook page, and make sure you check out Captain Jack's page as well. We're all a big part of the Raider Reaction family. We all support each other's pages, so make sure you go check out their shows as well. And yes, We're working hard to get Angria back on a regular show on Raider Reaction as well, which will it'll be hopefully up and running by the time the season gets here. We just got to get all of our ducks in a huddle.
I like ducks. That's okay.
Ducks are good.
We're just
thank
waiting
you for
for.
okay. Have a good rest of your evening, and thank you for joining me tonight.
Thanks, guys.
So, tomorrow night, Thursday night, the Raider Nation Ricochet, Captain Jack Rackham will be in studio with me. Right here, my favorite pirate. Be joining me tomorrow as we'll rip through everything that is silver and black. Then, of course, on Friday, 30 minutes before the kickoff, you can come to Raider Reaction. You can get the link to the Raider Reaction rave page for the week, where we will be holding court again for week 3 preseason Raider football. You'll be able to watch it with the large segment of Raider Nation and comment, watch the game as I'll be here with you, commenting and talking shit as I normally do. So, and watching Raider football with all of you guys. And God damn you, Hot Neil. God damn you. It is just Facebook, unfortunately, Raider King. It is just Facebook. It has through our Facebook page. It's the, yeah, unfortunately, it is because I'm streaming and, yeah. So, as you all know, I ended up in Facebook purgatory over what happened last week. So I've got some new tricks on my sleeve for this week. So, come and get me. We're still streaming it regardless. And if they take it down, we've already got other tricks in place to get it right back up. So we will have it covered again this week, regardless of what went down last week. I've made adjustments to make sure I don't end up in jail afterwards this time. So, thank you, as always, for stopping in and joining us. We appreciate any second you spend with us on Raider Reaction. New and old, our band of pirates, thank you for joining us. Thank you to Angria Trask for coming on the show and being my special guest tonight. And thank you to each and every one of you, new and old, our band of pirates. Thank you for joining us. Without you, we would be nothing. Purple drink? Where's the purple drink? I am the Jawalrus. Goo Kachoo. I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow night for the little Raider Nation Ricochet with my favorite salty captain. I'm out. Peace. Love. Raider Nation!